Welcome to the Changes to the Team episode for Game Week 8. Before we get on to the team selection for the upcoming game week, let's take a look at the points scored in Game Week 7. It was yet another poor return in defence, with clean sheets still looking very hard to predict this season. Foster and Macaulay once again came close, but a late goal from Patrick Van Onel wiped the West Brom clean sheet. Valencia also came close, but Joe Allen capitalised on a mistake by David De Gea in the 82nd minute. The midfield was filled with blanks, with only Firmino providing a decent return. The Brazilian scored Liverpool's first goal and won a penalty which Milner converted for the second. Snodgrass, Sterling and Antonio each managed just one shot on target and were all unable to find the back of the net. As for the forwards, Lukaku scored from a free kick to return 8 points. The Belgian managed 3 attempts in total, with 2 hitting the target and also attempted 2 assists. But once again, Zlatan Ibrahimovic somehow failed to score, despite forcing 4 saves from the keeper. He's now scored just 4 goals from 14 shots on target this season. Aguero was also unable to score against a resilient Spurs defence. He also managed 4 shots on target. So it was a poor score of 36 in the end, as the run of red arrows continues. The all-out attack chip wasn't particularly successful either, but there's still plenty of time to turn it around, and the aim is still very much to get a top 10k finish for a 3rd consecutive season. So now let's look ahead to Game Week 8. The plan is to let go of Ibrahimovic in order to bring in Alexis Sanchez. Michail Antonio is the player most likely to make way for Sanchez. He's made a solid start to the season, and ideally I'd like to give him the next 2 games, but West Ham are in a bad place right now. Sanchez is currently away on international duty, and it is important to monitor his situation, given that he was rested in the Premier League following the last international break. That was ahead of an away Champions League tie against PSG, however. This time, Arsenal have an extra day between their Premier League game against Swansea and their midweek Champions League fixture, and both games are at home. Ibrahimovic has now failed to score in his last 3 Premier League games, including home fixtures against Leicester and Stoke. His underlying stats are excellent, and there is plenty of promise, but with his heavy price tag and plenty of cheaper alternatives finding form, selling him seems almost unavoidable at this point. Charlie Austin is a potential replacement. At 6.3 million, he'll free up plenty of cash to improve the midfield and defence over the next couple of weeks. He's fought his way into the starting lineup at Southampton, with 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 3 Premier League games, and will face Burnley at home in Game Week 8. They've conceded 3 goals in each of their away games so far this season. Another potential replacement is the informed Christian Benteke. He's a little more expensive at 7.6 million and would leave no cash spare to make upgrades in defence. However, the Belgian looks to have hit form, scoring 3 goals in his last 4 Premier League games, as well as a hat-trick for his country on Monday night. So here's how the team would look after making those changes. In terms of selection, Foster and Macaulay will drop to the bench in favour of Pickford for his trip to Stoke and Friend, who faces Watford at home. Baines remains doubtful with a hamstring injury, but has a chance of returning for the game against Man City. The captaincy is a difficult decision this week. Sanchez will return late from international duty, so there is a small risk of him not making the starting lineup. Aguero is also on international duty and is doubtful through injury. So the final decision will depend on what the situation is for those 2 closer to the deadline. So be sure to follow FPLtips on Twitter for the confirmed transfers and captaincy selection. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video.